Hello, Braves country. This is Coach Ken Anderson coming to Hardcore Braves. And how you doing, Ryan? Here on a lost series weekend.
I had a fun Friday night, Ken. I had a great Friday night at the ballpark, so it's been a good weekend. Haven't done much this weekend. I've just kind of just relaxed. It's been nice. I know the Braves haven't been playing well, but I'm taking positives more than negatives in my life, so it's still been a really good weekend. We only lost the second series of the entire season so far, so it's not been bad.
Yeah, we'll get into the series. Real recap though, we knew they were on a 13 game stretch, and we were kind of asking for 9-4. We didn't quite get there. We got 8-5, which is actually excellent. So, um, we actually took 3 out of 4 from Miami, and we'd have took a split and 2-2. So we kind of got to where we wanted to be. It was kind of weird how we got there, and this weekend looked like kind of a tired baseball to me. Ryan, you were at the stadium Friday. Did you kind of see the same thing? Looked like a team that kind of needed a day off.
Yeah, you could just see them kind of dragging a little bit, and that's not me knocking on the guys. I mean, if anybody has worked 14 straight days in a row as you do, Ken, you're kind of burnt out by the end of it. I've done it in the past, working a couple jobs at one time, and it's tough. I mean, you're tired, you don't want to do much, so you can't wait to go home and just relax. And these guys got to go out there and try to perform. I mean, you could kind of see it with Ozzy a little bit. You can see it with Matt. You can see it with Ronald. They just look tired. They look like a team that needed a day off to just recharge the batteries a little bit.
Yeah, and sorry I haven't been in touch with a lot of Twitter, but I'm on this long 14-day stretch myself, and I know how tiring that is. So I think the Braves will use Monday's day off to really recuperate and get some family time. So that'll be good too. And they were on a kind of a weird schedule where they were home, they went down for 4, and they come back for 3. That kind of jerks you around too. So not trying to make any excuses. They didn't play from an offensive standpoint. They didn't play great. We'll get to the positive out of this weekend. But first of all, let's get to the game that we did win on Friday night. Interesting game. We get Big Texas on the mound, and Big Texas is always really good for us. They throw Miles Michaelis, and for some reason, Miles Michaelis is always good for them against us or for whoever team he's pitching for. So it's an interesting game, but overall, Bryce Elder again was good. We'll start with the pitching, and Bryce did well. He pitched well again, and he's really starting to look like definitely a 1 and 2 in our rotation. What do you think about Bryce as you watched the game?
He pitched great. I mean, the game was just cruising right along, and me and the girls were sitting in the bleachers, and they were like, "What inning is it?" And it was like the sixth inning. They're like, "Already?" I'm like, "Yeah." The pitchers have been cruising along. Bryce looked great. I mean, he's mixing his pitches in so well. He's got really good command. His stuff looks sharp at nearly every single start. He's just been good, and it was fun watching him live. It really was.
Yeah, they were, and the Nats did the little opener thing, which again we're going to get more and more into this. And if you watch Braves Hip Call, we're going to go to Boston. We talked about a lot on there that the Braves kind of struggle against left-handers, and I think we may see a little bit more of this where they start a left-handed reliever against our lineup, which they did. But get back to pitching. Usually, when we get leads, we say we're going to win games. Kind of a weird night. Fuentes, Iglesias, and Kenley all threw the ball well, and we really needed Tyler Kenley when he did his. But it was Suarez and Lee's first hiccup, and that's kind of be expected. They are human beings, and Walt said after the game, we're not going to have 0 ERAs in the bullpen, so the fact that we bounced back and won was good, but overall, it wasn't because Suarez and Lee really threw the ball bad. It was just a game that they hit them a little bit and scored on them, didn't they, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Abrams who took Suarez deep, right?
Yeah.
And that ball was loud coming off the bat. By the way, look, and if you're Suarez, you're giving up what, like 3 earned runs all year, and we're in almost in June now. I mean, the guy is not going to be perfect as much as we would want him to be. Dylan Lee is not going to be perfect. I mean, those guys are going to give up hiccups here and there, but I mean, I'm not going to crucify them for that. I mean, they're pitching great. I'm not going to dog them for one blown save, if you can even call it that, just giving up the lead a little bit. I was even in the bleachers. I was like, Dang, that's the first earned run Suarez has given up in like 10, 15 outings. So the offense, in my opinion, had to do a better job of scoring more than just 2 runs. They didn't, but they came back and had a nice little comeback win.
Yeah, and the biggest part on the pitching side was Tyler Kinley needed the time off. We kept saying if he gets some time off, he may regain. He looked pretty good in the 11th inning. He had 2 strikeouts. Remember that extra inning, you get to start the guy on second base. So he held him scoreless. Probably the best Tyler's looked in about 2 weeks hitting it run.
Yeah, he was throwing good. I think he was throwing his fastball a little bit more as well. I watched the scoreboard a little bit and he was throwing his fastball. I mean, it wasn't 50-50, but he was throwing it 1 to 2 times every at bat, and now it's a whole lot more than what he was doing, and his slider looked pretty good from where I was sitting. His curveball looked really well. He's getting good swings and misses, and guys looked pretty uncomfortable in the box against him. So, he checked all the boxes and what you wanted to see. So, I was really happy to see Kinley get back on the bump because when he came in, I literally said to myself, I was like, well, here comes an earned runner too. But he shoved and he got back on the right track. So good for Tyler, and I'm glad that he was able to have that scoreless out and get back on track.
Yeah, and somebody had talked, why is he still throwing so many off speed? And I said, well, what is the numbers? And he said he's throwing 68% off speed, only 32% fastballs. I said, well, it was at 86 off speed and 14% fastballs, so he threw quite a bit more fastballs, which we asked him to do. If everybody listened to the other podcast and the series preview, and he did that. So good for Tyler, and we need Tyler to be like that. So get him going. So offensively, we keep saying this. We can probably play small ball about as good as I've ever seen the Braves play small ball, and we did that. The epitome of that was the suicide squeeze in there. I love the call for it, and I love the execution. How about you?
Yeah, it was very well executed, and I will say this: it's a very good play if it works, but it's a very bad play if it doesn't work. And those guys executed it to a T. I think they also, it was like one pitch before, it was kind of like a safety squeeze almost. If the ball got down and in the right direction, Riley was going, but if it wasn't, he wasn't going. They executed it great. I can't remember the last time the Braves executed a squeeze play that well. It's probably been at least 10 years, if not longer than that. So, really, I mean, and that's just another tool in the toolbox for the offense when they're in a slump to get a run across the board in a tight game. So, I like seeing it, but Ken, I'm not a bunter. I don't like bunting. But it was a good bunt. It was a good call for it at the time because Walt's like, man, this offense is really struggling. Kim's really struggling. We got to get this run home, and it was perfected. It was very good. Tip of the hat to those guys for executing it.
Yeah, it was outstanding, and the guy that hit the ball in the game, Mauricio Devon and Austin Riley both had 3 hits, which is good to see for both of them. Overall, good night for them. But the surprise hitting star of the night ended up being Chadwick Trump, who had to come in the game, and when he did, he got an RBI single that helped tie it. And then in the 11th inning, he got an RBI single that scored Eli White to win it. Really nice to see Trumpy have a productive night, and he's been in an organization a lot. He's one of those journeyman catchers. Kind of nice to see a guy have a nice moment like he had Friday.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, Chatty's been around for a long time. He hasn't really gotten a whole lot of time in the show. So for him to come up and have that moment, that's going to be something he remembers for the rest of his career. And that's all you can want for those guys to come up and just try to do what they can do to help out the team. And look, he's made some adjustments with his swing. His swing looks a lot cleaner, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
he kind of went more to the Ronald stance a little bit. And it's working out well for him so far. He's put a couple good swings on the ball. He's had so far a pretty decent start to his season this year for the Braves, but I don't know if it's going to continue or not. But he had a great game on Friday night, and he's biggest reason why we won the game.
He is, and so we get the win 5-4. You got anything to add from Friday night? I know you were there, and it was just it was a good night and another good comeback. We've done this quite a bit, coming from behind and winning this year. That's a good thing to look forward to as we go down because to know our team can come back. Any other thoughts from Friday night?
I know we came back and won the ball game, and it was great to see that and watch that. But we did a poor job of executing out there as an offense in general. Uh, I mean, you just saw right there if you're watching on YouTube, Michael swing at a ball that was at least 6, 7 inches off the plate. We weren't really attacking pitches in the zone or hitter zones that we should have been, and we were chasing way too many pitches out of the zone or pitches that we shouldn't have been chasing early in counts. I know a lot of people were saying that, and it is true, and they did a very poor job in this game, but we got away with it because our pitching was good and we had just enough offense, but it carried over into the next two games, and we weren't good enough to win those games. So, but it's just really poor execution on the offense's part overall. I know we won the game, but it could have been way better.
Yeah, I mean the problem is when you get into bad habits, and we talked about it on the hip coil, you can't swing at balls going below the thigh, and we were doing that, and it showed up. And so we get to Saturday, and it shows up big time. Our nemesis Jake Irvin gets on the mound, and for whatever reason, he is an absolute beast against us. Uh, he carries a no hitter into it. We'll just touch quickly on the fact that he looks like he come out with an injury, and it looks like it may be kind of bad. But you got any thoughts on why Jake Irvin, who carried a 5.79 ERA into the game, somehow can always look like a masterful ace of anybody's staff against when he plays against us run?
Yeah, he throws the one pitch we can't hit, a curveball. That's it. I mean, we look, and people are like, "Well, why do the Braves struggle with curveballs?" The curveball is almost a dying pitch. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, but the big off-speed pitches now are sliders, sweepers, and changeups. You don't have many curveballs anymore, and if you do, they're normally like little get-me-over loopers that people just take because they don't expect a curveball to come out of the hand, and pitchers can get away with that from time to time, but really good curveballs, like a Charlie Morton esque curveball, like we've been seeing from a couple guys, are very few and far in between. So I don't. I think that's the main reason why. And in this game, we were chasing a lot of pitches outside of the zone. Again, we weren't getting the ball up in the zone, and he was executing the curveball low in the zone when our guys were chasing it, and that's why we struggle.
Yeah, and on the pitching side was excellent in this game. Grant threw the ball well, made a couple of mistake pitches, but can't hate him for his outing. And then Dylan Dodd come in and threw the piss out of the ball. Did well and got us through. Overall, the pitching. Then we'll get to the end of the series recap. We're going to give you some numbers on them, but the Grant and Dylan, and they just threw the ball well, and they gave us a chance to win, and that's all you can ask out of those two.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Grant threw the ball really well. What gave up 2 earned runs in 5 or 6 innings? Dylan Dodd came in and shoved for a few innings or 2 innings. I can't remember
Three,
how many he
three.
went. He went 3 innings. I mean, what more can you ask? That I mean, that's 9 innings of 2 run baseball out of your pitching, and your offense just got absolutely massacred by a guy who had nearly a 6 ERA. And I know, yeah, bullpen that hasn't been too great either. So again, really good job on the pitchers this weekend. A really poor job on the offense for lack of execution on your game plans, not sticking to them. Because if your game plan was to chase the pitches low and hunt for the pitches low in the zone, you were a fool because that's when you get to the problem of expanding your strike zone because these guys have chase pitches down there. So again, poor execution, poor job on the offense.
Yeah, I agree. And we talked about it before we started the podcast. If that's the reason I don't gamble, guys. You get people who gamble, y'all really got nerves of steel because I would have bet everything I had that the Braves couldn't get one hit in a ball game, be one hit in one ball game, and by God, they got done that. Michael Harris had the only hit, and it never really looked like we were going to even score a run. So get shut out was not surprisingly the worst of the whole offense was Ronnie. He went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts to Golden Sombrero. Just I know we keep getting redundant here, but would you have bet on anything? We would never had a game with one hit. I mean, I just can't believe we did that.
I think it would have been depending upon the pitcher. I would not have bet against it if Paul Skeens was going out there
Yeah.
against us and one hit us, But Jake effing Irvin, Are you freaking kidding me? A dude who has a 6 ERA goes out there and absolutely shoves it up our rear ends? No, I would never have bet that. Not in a million years, but here we are. And we did call it. We said this guy absolutely gives us fits for whatever daggum reason. Well, I think the reason is because of the curveball. I think we figured that out. So
Yeah.
there is that.
Yeah, before I would talk about game three, if you see the shot of Grant walking off the mound with the rain behind him, it's just impressive. I mean, Grant has that beautiful hair. He should take that video, and that should be his walkout video all the time. It's very intimidating. I hope Grant gets to see it. I don't think you got to see it, Ryan, but that was a very impressive little video with him walking off the mound after striking out somebody, and that rain's pouring behind him. It's one of the most impressive little videos I've ever seen, and it's going to be something that takes my memory of Grant Holmes. Just absolute beast.
Yeah, it was a nice little shot of him in the rain coming back to the dugout after just punching out a dude. I mean, that's really good stuff right there. Good job on the Braves video crew. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, they did really good. So we get to game three, and we warned y'all their best pitcher was going to go on game three. And here he comes, Foster Griffin, and God bless him. He's a left hander, and we struggle, and just not really much even going on in this game. We'll get to the ninth inning where we did give ourselves a chance, but overall, just not a very good game. Austin did get 2 hits in this game. Austin was the best hitter in this series. We went 5 for 10. But overall, another series that I mean, just we didn't hit the ball, and Foster looked really good for them. Not a lot to take from this. Real quick in the ninth inning, let's just talk about the whole offense. Ninth inning, we do get a couple people on. Real good at bats. Ozzy had a 3-hit day. Really good at day for Ozzy. Hopefully, we always keep saying hopefully it gets them going. That's what you're looking for, and they get a little confidence. And I love Money Mike. He's my guy. I love him, and he's one of my favorite players. Just they bring in a lefty, and God bless him. They love lady. He brings 2 pitches, a sweeper, put outside. He had to know he's going to get the sweeper. I know Michael's got to be disappointed in that. He still ends up having a good swing on the ball, but we end up getting beat 2-1 because I think if he could have got a really good swing there and put that pressure on the Nats, we could have come back. But overall, the offense just wasn't very good in this game at all.
No, and I know I'm like a broken record, man, but it was that bad. Normally I'm bragging on them because they normally do such a good job, but I mean they just did a piss poor job of executing a game plan in this series. I mean Matt, it wasn't just one dude. Matt Olson sucked. Ronald Acuna Jr. sucked. Michael Harris had a bad series. Ozzy Albies had a very meh series. Dubon probably had a okay series. Riley was the only one who had a decent series. I mean, it was just up and down the lineup. These guys weren't putting together at bats that they needed. They weren't executing their game plans. They weren't hitting the ball like they should have. It was just really bad all the way around. And I don't know what you do to fix it. Drake Baldwin can't come back for quite some time because obliques are very, very tricky, and we're not risking him long term just to rush him back for this fix right now. So it's going to start with the guys that you built your core around: Ozzy, Ronald, Riley, Olson. You guys got to get going. And I know people love to attack Austin Riley. Austin Riley was okay this series. He was 5 for 10. I don't think anybody else in the series had 5 hits. Ronald was 0 for the series. Between him and Matt Olson, they were 1 for 25. 1 for 25. Ozzy Albies 3 for 12. It was
Yeah.
not a good series, and I know everybody likes hating on Austin because he's an easy target because he's the highest paid player for the Braves, but have some perspective, guys. It wasn't on him this series. There's a lot of other people to blame besides Austin. There's a lot of blame to be evenly split between players on the offense this series.
Yeah, he gave you the numbers. The fact of the matter is we're not going to win games when our leadoff hitter goes 0 for 11, and we're not going to win games when our best power hitter goes 1 for 14. So the reason we lost is because they were both in a little bit of a slump. We got to get them going. Ronnie needs to get going. This team will get going offensively, and Ronnie gets going. That's all the negative. Just a bad offense back to back. They really had bad offense all 3 days. They didn't really have good approaches. And I think the most disappointing thing is they come off the Marlins series where they look so good. So that's probably the most disappointing. Let's take what the good was. You ready? And the fact that they played 29 innings against the Washington Nationals, who has one of the best offenses in baseball. They only gave up 8 runs, Ryan. This pitching staff, and look, that's with their two better relievers having their first hiccup of the year, or they could have held them. It is what it is. They could have even held them even lower. The pitchers did everything to keep us in the series, and they got to get a gold star for this weekend.
Yes, they get a gold star. They get a good noodle star. They were absolutely fantastic. And remember, 4 of those runs came in what, the first game?
Yeah.
I mean, they shut them down pretty good the last 2 games to give the offense, who was very lackluster to say the least, even a chance to come back and win. I mean, hats off to the pitchers. You guys shoved this entire series and didn't walk many guys. You attacked the strike zone. You did great. There's not anything I could complain about the pitching staff this series. Y'all did an absolute fantastic job, and you're the only reason why we had a chance to win this series.
And on another note, our best three starters and our best three relievers combined out of that 29 innings only threw 9. They only threw 9. An inning each from the big three relievers and 6 out of Bryce Elder. And that really goes forward will bode well for us because this pitching staff is really good. And if they pitch like this, our hitters will hit the ball. We got a championship ball club. We just got through a tough stretch, 8-5, 13-game stretch. It's tough. We went 8-5. We are sitting at, I think it's 13-9 for the month of May. Not as great as April, but the good news is, Braves fan, after this series, before we get to our play of the series and MVP of the series, we started the Dodgers series 2.5 games up, Ryan. Today, after the end of this, going into Memorial Day is a big cutoff in Major League Baseball. That's when they always say the cream rises to the top. We still have a 2.5 game lead over the Dodgers for the best record in the National League. Did not lose one game, and we have not really played our best ball. And then the Phillies, we had a 9 game lead, and we are 9.5 up and 9 on the Nationals. We've literally not lost a game to them as well. So I think there's some good signs here, though we didn't have our best 2 games. The team really looks really good here going into Memorial Day.
I mean, they put themselves into a really good position, right? And that's something that we talked about at the beginning of the season, is that you need to get off to a good start because eventually you're going to go through the lull. Well, here we are, chat. We're going through the lull. It happens to every single baseball team known to man. When you go through a little bit of a lull, whether that's your offense is struggling, your pitching staff struggling a little bit, the bullpen's blowing games late, like it happens every year. And the thing that good teams do is they limit that to a very short amount of time. And that's what we get to see if the Atlanta Braves can do. Are they going to let this continue and extend where they get in trouble like they have in the last couple of years, or are they going to rein it right back in and get back on track? That's what good teams do. That's what World Series caliber teams do. They rein that right back in and they get back on track. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and we've still not lost 3 games in a row, so we'll see how that goes on Tuesday night. The Dodgers have already lost 4 games in a row, so we'll see how we adjust coming in Tuesday. So let's go to our play of the series. I think it's pretty easy what the play of the series was. We didn't have a lot of good plays of the series for the Braves, and so what was your play of the series, Ron?
Giving it to Chadwick Tromp with the walk-off single. Look, we didn't win the series, but that was the really bright moment for us this series. I mean, Friday night was a fun game to be at. It was great. I had a fun time and memory that I will have forever with my 2 girls and fiance. It was great. But thank you for Chadwick for delivering that moment.
Yeah, that's definitely the play of the series, and that's the only one that you really. And there were some other good moments, like I said, you could do overall the pitching staff, but Chadwick Trump was the play of the series, MVP of the series. Who do you got?
Pitching staff. The whole pitching staff, not just bullpen or starters, they all did a great job. They're the MVP of the series.
Yeah, I think it's the. I'm just going to let and give me. I always do this when we lose a series. I know people hate it. I know I had J.P. Crawford when they beat us to the Mariners. So let's give some love to the Nationals. I think it was both pitching staffs. These are two of the best offenses in baseball, and the Nats and Braves pitchers showed up and absolutely dominated. And bodes well for both teams. We still don't think the Nationals are a playoff team, but if you're a Nationals fan, you got to be encouraged by what you're seeing. So good for them. And now they can go and beat up on the Phillies and the other teams for us. So do that. So that's who our play of the series. So now we're going to move on and we get to go to Boston. And we played 3 games, and God bless the Red Sox. They're struggling 20 and 31. So what's the problems in Boston, Ryan? Well, they don't hit the ball. They're very streaky. And they got some guys that should be better than they are. They have a middle. There are 4 and 5 pitchers in their rotation are horrible, and their bullpen, 6 guys in their bullpen are very hittable. Here's the problem, chat. We don't get to see those guys. We're going to see their 3 best pitchers, and their back 2 into their bullpen are excellent. So, what are you feeling going into the Red Sox series?
Look, we got our 3 horses going, right? You got Strider, you got Elder, you got Sale. Sale going back to Boston to really try to shove it up their ass for trading him and showing him up like that. But it's hard for me to say that we're going to win a series when our offense has just absolutely crapped the bed. So I'm saying we're losing. We're only going to win 1 out of the 3. But I could very easily see us sweeping or winning the series because we have our 3 horses and our offense could break out at any time. But with the way the offense is swinging the bat, I just don't like it, Ken.
This is the hardest series we've had to go pick easily because of the situation. They're going to throw 3 very good left-handers. We struggle against left-handed pitching. They all have curveballs. We struggle against curveball. But our pitchers are pitching well. Their offense is not doing well. I'm going to go 1 out of 3 because it's hard to take a team that just got only scored 1 run in their last 18 innings to win a series. So we're challenging. It's not we're down on the Braves. It's just that it just doesn't look good. And let's hope that y'all can all make fun of us this week when they sweep them. That'll be great. I'll take all of it. I'd be loved to take all the criticism I can for taking 1 out of 3. You asked which game I think they can win the easiest. I will always take Sale normally, but I like the Elder matchup against Early in Game 2. But hopefully we don't lose 3 games in a row. We haven't done it yet, so let's keep that up. To do that, who is going to be your MVP of the series?
Austin Riley. He's going to Fenway. He's got the green monster. He's been swinging the bat the best out of any of the hitters. I know that's hard to believe, and maybe not the best sign for the Braves, but I think Austin Riley's going to have a really good series. He's facing 3 lefties, and we're going to need one of 3 guys to get going. Ronald, Austin, or Ozzie. We need those 3 guys to get going in the series if we're going to have a shot at winning the series.
Yeah, and Ozzy with 3 hits today. Hopefully that'll really get him going. So you're right. It's got to be the 3 right-handers. They're the 3 right-handers in the lineup that's got to get going. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Ronnie is going to take that day off, go play with the kids, have some fun, maybe get a good hot dog. I don't know if Ronnie eats hot dogs, but eat a good hot dog and get in Boston. And if anybody can hit the ball through the monster, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. And let's have Ronnie have a big series. The Boston people are fun fans. They'll probably chirp him in the outfit, tell him about his golden sombrero, so I get that Ronnie fired up, and hopefully we'll win a ball game. So with that, you got anything else to add about the Red Sox series?
I need my offense to get back to doing what it does. go out there and execute your game plan. Stop swinging the crap below in the strike zone. Make the pitchers paint the bottom of the zone before you start expanding your zone down there, and hunt for the pitch up in the strike zone. That's all you need to do, and you're gonna get right back on track, guys.
I agree. And for the pitchers, you're going to have to not start trying to be perfect. You're doing your job. Just keep doing your job. A lot of times, our pitchers, I had them when I was coaching them. They tend to, if their team's not hitting, they tend to try to be more perfect. Don't try to be more perfect. Just, Grant, you gave up a couple shots. That's fine. Solo shots. That's fine. Martin, you give up a run. That's fine. Do what you got to do. Just go do your thing, and the offense will get going. We'll win these ball games. So, before we get out of here with our final thought, we do want to congratulate Alicia. She went to the game. She took some beautiful pictures. She did thank us, all of the hardcore Braves. We do appreciate her support, and we're glad they had a good time. And we're going to do another giveaway coming up soon for the next homestand. We'll announce it later on this week. We do appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure that you follow all of us too, because it helps us grow and give away more things. With that said, what's your final thought of the night?
My final thought, I'm going to repeat it. I need the three guys to get going. Austin, Ronald, Ozzy. You guys got to get going for this offense to get going. I'm not saying Matt Olson's not a big key or anything, but I'm saying for this series in Boston, I need those guys to get going.
I agree. I think all of them need to get going, and hopefully they will. My final thought of the evening is, Alex, listen to me. Listen to me. This is a championship ball club. Take a chance when you're watching the games and look at those two guys at the back end of that bullpen and think how good they look in a Braves uniform. I don't care which one of the two you get. I know everybody would like to have Chapman because the left-hander, but Garrett Whitlock would do the deal too. So, Alex, pay attention. Boston's going to be selling here because they are not getting back in this race, in my opinion. So that's my final thought. Braves Country, remember, follow us, Disgusting Homer 27, Boyd PC 15, Braves Hip Coil at Hardcore Braves. The rest of them, Ben, Aaron, Andrew, Lethal, Platty, doing a great job, by the way. Y'all need to jump on Ryan. He's doing a great job, and we appreciate him. And if you've not noticed, Stash is back on causing all kind of havoc on Twitter. So y'all get on there and give him all the heck you can. He's flying high as the kite as a coach. His little 8 under or 9 under baseball team won the championship today. Got him big rings. So congratulations to Greg and them. So with that said, we love you, Braves Country, and keep following us, and make sure you like and subscribe every one of our social platforms. We appreciate it. We're out of here. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.